Hi friends, hope you are doing well. I'm Dr. Ganguly. Welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about the German Chancellor Fellowship, and this is another fellowship given by the Alexander von Humboldt Foundation. And interestingly, this fellowship is there for graduates, so it doesn't require that you have a master's or a PhD degree. It just requires that you have a bachelor's degree, and it's essentially given to people from a set of countries. So these are Brazil, China, India, South Africa, and the United States. So this fellowship is essentially different from many of the other fellowships and opportunities I have talked about, which are essentially for postdoctoral work. So many times people ask me, what's the possibility if I only have a bachelor's degree? Can I get a fellowship? So I stumbled upon this particular fellowship which you can take advantage of. And this is essentially given to university graduate with some experience in leadership. And this is for a 12-month project which is to be done in Germany. Now essentially this project has to be self-supported or self-chosen project. You need to find a host, of course, for this. This host could be anybody in Germany, and this host could be a person who can actually support your work there. So this would mean that this person should be an expert in whatever problem you're proposing for. Now, as far as this project is concerned, this should support your career development. It should be societally relevant. It should have a long-term public impact, and so on. It should also help to improve ties between your home country and Germany, and also promote some level of international cooperation in various aspects of leadership and politics. Now, what do you need to get this fellowship? You essentially need a cover letter, you need a curriculum vitae or a CV, you need a project plan. You need to find the university, and you need to find the university host, get letters from the university host, and also get 2 reference letters. So these references should say something good about your personal and professional capacity in which they have known you. Now essentially 50 such fellowships are given. Sometimes it's 50 to 60, and they are given in a plethora of fields. So essentially you can apply in politics, public administration, business and society, culture, and so on. So this is a very interesting and different fellowship from the typical fellowships we see, which are skewed toward the science and technology domain. So this is more skewed toward the humanities and social sciences type of domain. So if you are somebody in these areas and have a bachelor degree, then you can think about applying for this fellowship. Now this is supervised by the hosts whom you select. This person is expected to mentor you on whatever research topic you have proposed. Now what I see is that many of the people do go to universities because, again, university information is out there in public. The professors would have their web page, the departments have their web page, and so on. So if you pick a particular topic, it's relatively easy to find a university professor who is going to help you in this area. So that would probably be a good choice. But then there are some people who also go to some other institutions. For example, they sometimes go to companies, sometimes they may go to government organizations, and so on. So don't forget about these. There are also several labs out there in Germany who can probably host you. So there are the Fraunhofer labs, there is the Max Planck Research Institute, and so on. Now, how much do they pay you? So the pay is essentially 2,000, 2,300 or 2,600 euros per month. And this level of pay will depend on your professional qualification, the experience you have after your bachelor's degree in terms of what you have done, the level of leadership you have achieved, and so on. There is also some extra money for mobility. So essentially, if you need to go to any place for conferences and travels and to give talk, there is money for that. There is money for health and liability insurance. So Germans are very fastidious about insurance, so they do always make sure that you have some insurance coverage, because that's very important in Germany. They also provide extra funds for family in case you are planning to bring your family into Germany. Now, like I mentioned, there are a couple of conferences related to this fellowship which take place, so you'll get to know the different fellows. So remember, this is a cohort of about 50 to 60 people, about 10 people from each country, sometime more, sometime less, but that's the general number. And finally, there is a meeting in Berlin at the German Chancellery. So here you can essentially have a good time and discuss various things among yourself. Now, certain more things are there. One of the things is that unlike the other fellowships, such as the Humboldt Research Fellowships, which is primarily a postdoctoral fellowship concentrating on doing research, which can be done in the English language, this particular fellowship seeks to bridge ties between your home country and Germany. So knowledge of the German language is considered to be very important. And this is not me saying something. This is actually the Humboldt Foundation, which says that you should actually try to learn German as part of this fellowship. So they provide you up to 3 months of an intense German language course. And so if you are not somebody who knows German very well, then it's a good idea to take this course. They will also help if your spouse wants to take a course or learn German in Germany. Now, essentially, I mentioned the 5 countries which are given here. Now, you should be a citizen of these countries, or you could be somebody who has been living in these countries for quite some time. So that's also the possibility in this case. So I think somebody who is an citizen of a foreign country but is staying in these countries for a long time essentially could be somebody who can apply here. But again, these kind of things you can verify with the Humboldt Foundation itself. Now, another requirement is that the bachelor's degree should be completed within the last 12 years. So that's the timeline which is there. So assuming you finished your bachelor's degree at around, let's say, 21 years of age, you have 12 more years to essentially apply for this fellowship. And so you can use many of these years in developing a leadership profile and then applying for it. So there is the need for proven leadership expertise, and also there is the fact that you can acquire this leadership over a period of time. And if you are a person who is totally into the university type of system, you can acquire leadership by going somewhere else or within the university structure also. So maybe you were a PhD and you started working in some company, you can still apply for this fellowship. So requirement is basically bachelor's degree and some leadership experience. So keep that in mind. So some of the most important things here are, of course, a detailed statement of your work, the confirmation from your host, 2 referees, and then essentially what they are going to do is they are going to scrutinize this proposal very carefully. They are going to see that do you have the qualifications to implement this task? Does your host have the qualifications to implement this task? Do you have all the equipment and facilities required to implement this project you have planned? And then how this project is going to help your country, Germany, maybe the world at large in terms of something fruitful coming out of this particular project. So again, like in most fellowship cases, the persuasiveness of the proposal is going to play a very important role in getting this German Chancellor Fellowship. Now, interestingly, the Germans don't use the word chancellor. When I was in Germany, I think they always told me that the word is Chancellor. So again, keep that in mind that you probably need to know German better. So then you will not be saying Chancellor, you will be using the precise German word for this case. So this is an interesting fellowship. Various times I get comments on my channel that, hey, you only talk about science and technology. You don't talk about anything in the humanities, social sciences. You talk only of PhDs. You never talk about bachelor's degree student. And most of the people in the world are actually bachelor's degree people. So this is a fellowship for you, and it covers a large part of the world's population. So as you saw, the most 2 populated countries in the world are included, and also 3 more countries are included. So essentially you will get a good amount of diversity. You will get people from different parts of the world, a disparate set of people, and you can talk with them. You can build a global network, and then later on there are various funding opportunities which are given to you by the foundation to come for further visits to strengthen whatever you have done and to do more work in these areas. So this was my take on the German Chancellor Fellowship. I hope you benefit from this video. Stay tuned to my channel for more such videos. I will see you sometime soon. See you then.